Hi friends, your girl Lee here. I hope you're having a great weekend. It's the holidays, absolutely bitter freezing here on the East Coast, ice everywhere, and sadness in our hearts today. It's been a rough weekend. Everyone, especially in Hollywood, of course, reeling to know that the legendary, iconic, prolific director and actor Rob Reiner and his wife have passed. Breaking news this morning, we didn't want to say it, it was alleged, etc., that it is at the hands of their son. There's a picture that I have with him. I met him the night they keep showing it, from Film at Lincoln Center, which is where I am often. And that society is a great society of filmmakers and collaborators and artists and people that want to bring great beauty to the world. And him being honored and being there quite often and giving up his time and support, which he always did, especially for young filmmakers and people wanting to break into the industry, was immense. He was always such a kind man, a loving man. And ironically, over the weekend, I don't know if many of you saw it, I had it a lot of my screenings. I'm sorry, I'm a mess because I've been crying so much, but it was a great tribute to the great Dick Van Dyke. So many young people that were there, and even people my age, had not really seen that show before, and to see the great Carl Reiner, Rob's father, be on there and just talking about him all weekend, discussing him, the great gifts that he brought to the industry and to Hollywood in general, and to think that his son, playing Michael originally, and then Meathead, with the great Norman Lear for All in the Family, and all these great things that he did prior to becoming the great director. I had a young man who just came up to me at one of our discussions, and his name is River, and he was very emotional because he was actually named for River Phoenix when he was born. And then it became a discussion of Stand By Me and how much that film means to him, and obviously When Harry Met Sally. And it's something that I always screen at this time because, of course, coming from the fall, culminating into New Year's Eve, and how much his wife Michelle had a part in the ending of that great film starring Billy Crystal and Meg Ryan. It's something that I always screen around this time, and we'll certainly do that between the Christmas and New Year holidays. And we're going to do that for Rob, and to think that it ended so tragically, that his last chapter, his last scene ended. Sorry, just ugly crying. It's just been a rough week out of treatment, and then the tragedies of the weekend are just unbelievable. Australia, here in America, Brown University, and then I don't know what led, none of us may ever know what led to this tragic ending, but Rob and Michele deserved a better final scene. And this is just such a tragic, terrible ending to what was a beautiful life, and how much that he gave to us as his audience in the world. And I know the police are investigating what led up to these terrible events and could make someone do such a thing, but it's just tragic all around. I know his family had just seen him, his daughter Tracy with his first wife Penny Marshall, and when you saw Penny, which you might know from Laverne and Shirley, and then met his current wife Michelle, I was like, wow, you have a type. And Rob laughed. They're beautiful women, they had a beautiful family, and it's just so sad that this is the ending. So hearts, souls, love goes out to the Reiner family. It's just so sad, and we will honor him and his great legacy and his great memory with some screenings of his fabulous, tremendous movies. Please tell me if you had a favorite. It's hard to pick. A lot of people are saying The Princess Bride, of course, As You Wish, and I am getting a lot for Stand By Me, which was tremendous, as well as, of course, When Harry Met Sally, which is a lot of people's favorite. So thank you, sir, for all that you gave to industry, and Flights of Angels, sing thee to thy rest in peace.